I made suction tires. Wait, what? Wait. I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire. I got the idea from an octopus because of the suction cups, and I don't know.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
Today's economy may force some parents to put the safety of their kids at risk by leaving them at home alone during the summer while they are at work. Should you leave your child alone on a regular basis? Let's find out. Dr. Sims, welcome to My Summer, My County.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Tell us what parents can do to prepare their children for peer pressure and how they can prevent them from engaging in harmful and inappropriate behavior during the summer.
Well, it's very important during the summer months that parents have structured activities for the children. The young children, a lot of young children are being left home alone, 9 years old. You want to have structured activities. You don't want to leave them there to watch television all day. If you have a sitter part of the day, make sure they have structured activities. With teens, that's going to be more important because then they get into activities that can be harmful because they're bored. And boredom leads to inappropriate behaviors. So you want to make sure you talk to your kids about peer pressure. You want to let them know you would probably even want to act some things out. Especially if you have a shy child, a really shy child, you may want to go through some role playing, so that they can say what's appropriate. Because a lot of times kids get into the negative behavior that goes along with peer pressure just because they don't want to say no, or they don't know how to say no, or they want to be cool.
Right.
And so role playing is really good.
Okay. So what are some structured activities for children and adolescents to do during the summer to keep them emotionally and physically fit? Physically
fit. Okay. You want to make sure they get outside. Real important. You want to make sure they work out. You know, now with the health, the kids are a little more obese. They're carrying more weight. So you want to make sure they get outside. Kids are playing the video games. They're not getting outside. So you want to make sure they do some type of outdoor activity daily for the physical, for the emotional, and also so that they are able to be ready when they go back to school. You want to have mind games. You've heard of the brain games?
The brain games, explain that.
Yeah, the brain games is where you have little puzzles that you have them work on, fun facts, and so they feel really cool when they're able to share these with their friends. Okay. But you want to make sure you have play games that stimulate them, stimulate their minds, stimulates their thinking. So that would take care of the emotional and the physical.
Okay. Now, how do we prepare children mentally when families do not have the finances to go on an expensive vacation or take them to expensive events during the summer?
Let your children know. Let your children know that, we're going to have fun. We're going to go and have fun like other families, but we may not be able to afford the lavish activities. The park. You can go to the park. You can do things at the park. There's plenty of activities in the county that are free that a lot of people don't know about. So parents can do the research to find out about those activities that are free, but do things with them. Go to museums. There are a lot of museums around the area that are free. So there are things to do with them. And I think most important is to talk to them and let them know.
Okay. Now, when it's towards the end of the summer, the children dread going back to school. How do we prepare children for going back to school mentally after the summer's over?
I think that you prepare them all summer long. And you prepare them all summer long with the mind games that you're playing with them, the board games. There are plenty of board games that stimulate the mind. You hear some teachers say when kids come back, oh, what happened to them during the summer? Because they're not stimulating their minds during that time. So do the board games. There are plenty of board games that help with the thinking and help stimulate the mind. Puzzles are great for kids, and in terms of stimulating them mentally. You want more activities or?
Yeah, activities, are there anything that they can do in the home that can prepare them mentally for school?
Well, those things would be done in the home. And if you do them with the family, that's a great thing to do, to play the board games or do the little activities with the family. I think that's a great thing to do as a whole, as a family.
Okay. So how can we make a healthy family over the summer altogether? How can we make a healthy family?
Emotionally, mentally, physically, if they eat adequately, make sure during the summer, because they're home a lot, they're not doing all that snacking, that you have healthy snacks in the house, fruits and vegetables. Emotionally, we talked about making sure the parents are there for them in terms of peer pressure, making sure they talk to the kids.
What age do you recommend children to be able to stay at home by themselves?
Well, that would depend on maturity level. Although you can leave children as young as 9 for a couple-hour period, I would definitely look at the maturity level of the child. You don't want to leave a 9-year-old at home all day because school is out. So look at the maturity level. If there's a babysitter checking on them, you want to make sure that you call home and check on them often. Another thing that you can do is have a schedule, so they have scheduled activities to do. And so if they're home during that time period, they still have something that they can do, and definitely check on them. But 12, I think if a child is 12 then and mature, I think that's a great age.
Okay, and do you recommend that they're allowed to have company when they're that age?
Definitely not.
Okay.
They should not be allowed to have anyone over unless there are parents there or adults there or babysitter there to supervise.
Okay. Well, during the summer, how can we deal with self-esteem issues that the children may be having if their friends are having a better summer than others?
Well, I think self-esteem, parents are the ones who help build a healthy self-esteem. And you do that by saying things that are positive to the children. You don't say negative things to them. And if a child has a healthy self-esteem, then they don't get into that peer pressure.
Okay. Well, Dr. Sims, we thank you so much for sharing this information with our viewers. What comes to mind when you think of summer? Are you looking to experience Prince George's County in a new way the next few months? When we come back, you'll hear about some fun-filled, low-budget activities and tours you and your family can enjoy, so don't go away.